people exiting, will they be able to see beyond that sign? I mean, you're coming up over a hill right there, coming down.
Going down.
So if somebody's exiting, are they gonna be able to see the cars coming over that hill?
Yeah, it's at the, if you look on sheet 2.
Oops.
No, sheet 2, it is.
One, two.
I'm just gonna grab this.
Sheet 3. We have all the site distance requirements. And that's actually at 14.5 feet off the edge of the pavement where the person's sitting. So look, when they're sitting in their car at the stop, at the exit, they're 14.5 feet off the edge of the pavement, and they're looking up and down the street. So at that 14.5 feet back, that's the site distance they're able
Here's
to
the
see.
existing pavement, so they're 14.5 feet from there.
So this is the edge of the road up here and not here?
Yeah, the edge of the road is right here.
So there is an
This
apron.
one's a,
There is an apron that's in that 14-foot zone.
Yes, yes, there's grass or landscape apron, yes. The property line is about 14, 15 feet from the actual.
Do you have a, any kind of do you have, Larry, have you ever seen, well, I can say Larry, have you ever seen anything in writing from Mass Highway?
No, I haven't had anything to use.
Copy?
That was
Something that you
submitted.
did receive
Yes, that
the permission for the curb
should be
cuts?
in your documents. Katrina has it.
Again, okay, so,
Because the Mass Highway reviews the site distance as well. We actually show right on Mass Highway plans the location of the person's.
it should be in this one here?
No, I mean, that permit was a couple months ago.
Because these are, Bill, these are your responses to Larry as well, right?
Correct, yep.
Where do I see that?
I just made a note on one of the responses, I think it's second page.
Point it out to me.
Second page, number 3, just about entrance and exit and
The
going
grades.
to Mass Highway. We actually,
The cut permit has been obtained.
Yes.
Do we have a copy of that?
I don't have a copy.
The town has a copy. I'm not sure.
What do
if
you
it's
mean,
in
that
there.
down? Can you
I
be more
gave-
specific?
I gave it back when Katrina was here. She was.
So it was
given-
obtained that far back?
Yes.
No, but is it based on the, so the actual dimensions haven't changed on the 2 curb cuts, so you based that on the previous plan?
Yes, yes,
Well,
So the curb cut permissions were based on the previous plan or the amended plan?
the previous plan for the location of the driveway.
Do they need to, well, in your opinion, do they need to
We
get a shot at this revised one?
Yeah, we went further away, so we actually got more distance now, more site distance in the directions that you're asking.
Oh, so it's more, okay, so.
Because we went
away from what?
we moved both driveways 10 feet this way,
Oh.
so we're further away from the hill. And this
Oh,
this
so you-
distance
so they
is-
moved them down.
Yeah,
that's not much. Have you driven down?
But, so they gave curb cuts, so you were more conservative than you were before?
but yeah, 10 feet more. It's not a lot, but we did add, it's actually take 10 feet more this way, so
What?
we revised these numbers.
While we're talking about the state, the change on this draft compared to what you saw originally is the state wanted a 20-foot entrance instead of an 18-foot for, what's it, 30 feet or something. So that's why this draft is 20-foot wide driveway entrances instead of 18. And the right-hand turn is a
Foot radius.
30-foot radius, and originally it was a 20 and 22-foot radius.
What, coming from the south?
Either
Coming from the
way.
south, it's 30 feet in
Or
and
when
10
you
foot.
leave.
Yeah, and then leaving, when you're leaving, it's 30 foot going out.
Well, I can see,
Right, so
I can see that, okay, I can see the change there on the plan.
So these drawings reflect the modifications that the
That's
state
fine.
requested. The state has not seen that we moved the driveways 10 feet, so that'll be followed up.
Okay, continue, Bill.
Okay, but I was speaking about the lighting. We have, say, the existing light pole has a light on it, which is just to the left of the exit. And there's an existing pole, which is right in front of the house now, but the house is where the infiltration area is. That pole has no light on it, but we're proposing a light there if it's needed when they actually construct these and they determine if it's needed for lighting on the entrance. You can add a light to that pole, same character and type as the one that's on this pole. That will give more lighting for the entrance.
The house is staying, right?
No,
No house.
Oh, you got rid of it, okay.
The, so the existing pole is the light that was required for Downriver Ice Cream,
Yes,
and where's the other pole?
it's right in front of the sign, right in front of the.
Proposed business sign location, so it's,
You see the pole right
Right.
in front? of
no,
that?
no, I'm not seeing the facility. I think I see it, but it's not, oh, it doesn't say pole.
It's on the
It looks
lighting,
like a pole, but okay.
on the lighting plan, it's labeled. and
Okay, I understand, okay, that's
And
fine.
it's
Yeah.
called out as
Okay.
light, proposed light if needed.
So if that's required.
Yeah.
Now, would a light on that obscure anything? So your proposed business sign location would be a daytime sign only?
no, it's lit, the top half.
Right, of course, according to the detail
Correct.
and according to the sign bylaw.
What's internally lit? Sorry?
Yes.
Oh. So,
Is that gonna be, that's gonna be part of the COV, Larry, because you have that on there, right? That the line would have to comply. I mean, the
Yeah.
sign would have to comply. Right, it's in
Yeah.
Larry's COV on the first page.
well, that requires a special permit then. For the lumen-
Any approval action by the board, a waiver is needed, oh, he's asked, a waiver would be needed with respect to the proposed up-facing lighting.
Yeah, that's different than.
That's
different
different
than the
than,
sign,
that's
yeah.
different than the sign, that's the up, that's the lighting for the,
That's the low voltage.
materials, I mean, for the, stock, right? Well, whatever, the
Plants that
sample,
I- yeah.
the sample stock,
That are in the ground.
yeah.
The illuminated sign requires a special permit, right?
And that was granted by the ZBA.
No, the
No,
planning
no.
board
No.
is a-
The sign is conforming, and the requirements state that you can internally illuminate a sign if it's not a white background. So the
No,
size of the
No,
sign,
you're wrong, I believe you're wrong.
okay.
An internally illuminated sign requires a special permit.
Let's just go to that now.
One of the criteria under that special permit provision is that the background has to be dark.
Correct.
Letters white.
Yeah, but that's proposed, so you can come back to that,
Okay, because
right,
that's,
then come back.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think we've advertised for a special permit for.
No, if you wanna do that, just come back, 'cause I think we need to get the site plan review and the use permit out of the way, right? That's our goal,
agreed.
Okay.
You have drawings, and,
but,
but, okay, well, we can
yeah,
table that.
compliance, I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't want to drag the rest of
Yes,
all the good work that's been done by Bill and so forth up to this point, and by Larry, you know, down because of that. Is that all right?
Is what all right?
No, just saying, I don't wanna have that, they need to hold off on that if they're not in compliance. And
Well,
that
we
would
have to go
come back.
through the
They would have
process,
to-
which we.
Yeah, they would have to come back. and
Yeah,
go
I
through the
think you would,
process.
yeah, but that's something you can do later, right?
Because right now you have on here, you have proposed, you don't even,
we,
So I'll just read the bylaw, sign illumination may be permitted subject to a design review and the issuance of a special permit by the Board of Selectmen, which is now the planning board,
yeah.
and subject to compliance with the illumination standards that follow, and one of those is the dark background.
we may have advertised that, or, well, we can look later on one of the public notices.
Did we?
I think so. We had two, no,
No, we didn't. It was just for the special
Didn't see
permit
that.
for use and
yeah.
for the site plan. I don't,
think the sign.
I would have
Sign
to
the
go,
building.
I would have to go back into the file, and Bill might have that in the file.
I don't see it on
But again, I don't think that's the most salient point for it.
So, I saw that.
Yeah.
Where does it say that?
I guess one of the other, next item is
Go ahead.
on, the outfacing lighting. And, you know, Larry mentions that it's a waiver from the board, potentially.
You're talking
See if it
about the dark
complies.
background part of it?
Okay,
Okay.
yeah, listen,
So I don't know if that's, if the outfacing lighting is gonna need a special permit, or if it's a waiver with the board.
well, it's not a sign. I don't really have a problem with it, because after the site visit, it's down, and I think it's integral to your business. I mean, personally, I saw, you know, the way, I don't think it's an issue.
Well, it is if we don't go through the proper procedure.
I mean, for the lighting on the plants?
Not, yeah,
Oh,
not.
what are we
not
talking
the
about?
sign.
No, we're
How
not,
about
no, he's
upfacing-
talking about the stock
upfacing-
on the plants.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We're
Upfacing
past
the
the
light.
sign. Well, we've had some discussion on that, and after we went on the site visit, I looked at the slope, and I looked at, you know, the specimens that you have here on your plan. I think would be, you know, for people to come in, I think it's an artistic thing, like you said. So, I mean, they're doing it on the common, so.
Well, that would be set way in anyways, wouldn't it? If you're
Yeah, I
talking
don't-
about that lighting, it would almost be,
No, does anybody have a problem with that? I don't.
I
I
don't
think it's
have-
no.
I don't have a problem with that part at all.
That's-
Okay, so that,
But, you know, I don't know what the rules and regs are on,
no, there is, no, it's up to us,
okay.
based on what we have before us, so. Go ahead, Bill.
We did modify the fencing. There was some concern on seeing the stockpile in the back from the front. We have a gate located at the entrance, another gate at the building, and a fence along the back side and the right-hand side of the property, the southerly side. Then we're gonna bring that fence over to the corner of the building. And it's gonna be a 6-foot fence, not a 7-foot fence. We changed the detail, no barbed wire on top, just a regular chain link fence. And then we're gonna put an evergreen shrubs in front of that fence to kind of shield.
Now, is the
view.
fire department, is there a gate?
There's a gate here, and there's a gate here, there's no gate here. We have a pedestrian gate just so they can walk through it, get to the front. But the driveway stops here at the,
Are there gonna be gates on the entrances and exits?
the only gate's gonna be right here at this location, not in the entrance.
So anybody can drive in there anytime they want?
They can drive in and drive out, yes, but they can't get past this gate.
Okay.
And then there's another gate back here to kind of enclose the back of the building.
You talked to the fire department about that?
I believe.
I've talked to him and he said that at the end, he'll say where he wants his lock boxes, or if it's gonna be one
Oh,
box.
so you will have lock boxes?
Yes,
So you'll have knock, okay.
and if I, all right, maybe knock box, not lock.
There's a knock box on the building, and it will have a key to the gate and the building?
Correct.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
And
In
he said,
compliance.
he
In
said we'll do
compliance.
that at the end after the building is up, and then we'll walk through it.
Before you get a CO? Okay.
Correct.
Is
Okay.
your office gonna be in that building too?
Yes,
And this one over here?
Yep.
correct.
We did soil testing in the front for the septic system. We have not submitted the plan yet. We are preparing the plan, and we anticipate submitting that before Thanksgiving. And we also did a soil test in this location, which is where which is right behind the house. The house is sitting right here, so we couldn't actually do the test in the house, but we did it right behind the house for the infiltration area and for the drainage. And that's logged on the plans. There was a question on accessing natural gas from Route 1 and whether or not we have to trench across and get a curb cut permit for that as well. In lieu of doing natural gas, we're gonna install a LP gas tank and have that provide service as opposed to gas from the main in the road. And that's gonna be located behind the fence.
Where is the gas coming down? Is it on the other side of the street?
It's actually on the other side of the street.
Are you guys gonna bring it in here or bring it in here?
We're not gonna bring it at all, we're gonna use an LP tank.
Okay, all right.
Gas tank, as opposed to bringing it across, so we don't have to take across Route 1.
That would be a pain.
Yeah. There was talk of possibly jacking it under, but I'm not sure that would work, so. We're gonna forego that and just put gas
Did
tanks.
the highway department give you any suggestions on that? No? They didn't touch it.
I don't know if you talked, I didn't talk to the gas company, but.
Do they have a way where they can jack it under?
I'm told they do, but,
They don't know what you're gonna hit, and then it could be problematic.
right. And then it's a state highway. You're right. And, they haven't shared anything with me yet.
Yeah, for your usage, I don't think an LP is gonna be a big deal.
Yeah.
No. And then, you know, if you're successful later, you can always deal with that later too. Yeah. You know, when you're settled in.
Yeah.
All right, same with the water service. Currently, there's a water service to the house, which is likely right here, and we're gonna continue that water service to provide water for the bathrooms and the office, in the building. For irrigation, we're gonna install a well located in this area, which is 100 feet from the septic. We're gonna use that for irrigation purposes to water his plants and lawn. There was mention of cistern tanks and.
That was my next question.
I know that you had a discussion with Larry, if you wanna.
Based on our needs and use, we've decided that's not going to be economical or feasible come summertime when we need it. We won't be able to have enough storage behind the building, and so we're going to go with Larry's second, I won't say option, but some second item to think about. One was the tanks or to put a well in.
So we're showing the well in the front. Let's see. In terms of fire protection, the building inspector, we understand, it's understanding that the building inspector has determined that we don't need to have a sprinkler system for this building, based on the building code, so the line that services the current house will be sufficient to service the bathrooms and the office complex, building, portion of the building. The applicant had submitted preliminary elevations and floor plans, architectural plans. I don't know if there's additional plans necessary, if those are sufficient at this point. I know he has to have a complete set for the building inspector when he actually pulls a permit, so, I mean, that shows the look of the building and the size of the building, and the layout of the office and the warehouse portion. And we corrected the labeling of the Zone 2. It was originally labeled as the Watershed Protection District, which is actually not true. It's actually the Zone 2, this line right here. So about 90% of the lot is in the watershed, the Zone 2, and the entire lot is in the Watershed Protection District, which is a local bylaw. And we are going before Concom for the stormwater management for that permit, for being in the Watershed Protection District, as well as for a notice of intent with Concom. We have a meeting on the 3rd, I believe. We've already had a couple of meetings, address some of their issues with the stormwater, as well as with Larry. We added signs that were shown on Mass Highway Plan. We added signs indicating one way and the direction of flow. The paved aprons will have lettering, enter only, exit only, as well as arrows painted on those, showing the direction. There's one-way do not enter signs when they're coming out to direct them in this direction. So there's additional signage that we added to make sure the traffic patterns are followed, the users of the property. We just changed the correct wording of the business light industry versus commercial.
Somebody overshoots that first driveway if they're coming down north. I mean, is it a big deal if they come in the exit?
We're trying to keep it so that.
I understand
but,
that,
no,
but you know,
there's-
coming over that hill, you're gonna be on it in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And, you know, if they're coming in to see you, well, no big deals.
Yeah.
I mean, is it gonna be a problem if they come in that way?
If
I mean,
no
I
one
understand
else-
you have a traffic back
Right,
there.
if
but-
no one else is leaving,
Right.
then
Right.
no.
We also do have 20 feet of width there, so there's enough room technically for 2 cars to pass.
Is that 20 foot, is that what that 20
Yes,
is,
20
20 foot
feet
wide?
width. Yep, the entrance is 20
And then it
feet
goes
wide.
down to 18?
Yep, on the backside, and 22 at the gate over here, so they can go in.
I think the answer is no. There wouldn't be a problem with those widths.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, we hope it doesn't happen, but it does. I think.
Let me ask you this, I mean, you guys have seen it, you come up over that hill, and you're right on it, you're right on it. And my concern is a big concern as far as safety goes, because we all know people are on the phone, people are trying to text, people just don't pay attention when they drive. And you got a delivery coming in, and he's going to take a right, now, he's gonna be, you don't have no lane to get over to come into that place. And is there any way you can put something, make, you know, I mean, you got 500 feet of frontage there. Can you make something, get off the road to make that turn?
Unfortunately, no. The answer to that is no. And the reason, two reasons, well, the biggest reason is the grade here. It's rather steep, it's coming right off the edge. of-
Right, I mean, you'd have to put some gravel in there.
Yeah, it would
I mean,
be,
you're gonna be taking down the whole hill out in the back, aren't you?
it would be moving poles, it'd be a lot of.
I mean, I'm concerned with the safety of the public more than anything, you know, I mean, I'm all for the new business coming to town, by all means, you know, but my biggest concern is safety. We're coming up over that hill, you know, I mean, you're right on it. If you went down the road a piece, right over the Ipswich line, you'll see that they just added, they put a little lane in for a building that they develop it over there, you know, and if you, I think you know what I'm trying to get at anyway. you know?
So it's because of the road bed only goes so far, then there's a steep drop off?
Right,
Right.
well, I realize there's not much to
So-
work with.
And,
We
you
have a
know,
30-foot right curve now
yeah,
too,
and we did,
so that makes it easier.
you know, these plans were presented at Mass Highway, they reviewed them for site distance and for stopping site distance and all that. So I think,
How
you
many
know,
feet is this from here to here? What's this 7425?
that's an elevation,
Okay,
it's based
so
on.
how many
something
feet you got from this line to this line?
From here to here,
Yes.
Uh,
Right here to here, do you know offhand? Any chance?
well, it's a 30-foot radius curve, so I think it's 25 feet.
So, what types of deliveries would you be getting? Would you be getting large trailer truck deliveries or
A couple
small-
a year, I
Couple a year.
mean, not daily or anything, it's nothing regular. So,
So-
like tonight,
Two a year?
it's gonna be minimal. I mean, like tonight, I went, picked up 5 yards of mulch for tomorrow. All our plants, we just did an 8-week stone job. Nothing came to me, everything went straight to the client's property.
Which happens more and more now.
Correct.
Yeah,
So,
Okay, but I'm sure
But
with
you-
your
but you're-
office.
you're also, yeah, I mean, Steve, his site doesn't afford much storage anyways,
right.
right?
What about your clientele for design and everything, which is the business that you're in? I mean, there's gonna be more than a couple people a year coming in there to do business, right?
I think most people wanna have me at their house, so that they can walk around and see, when I'm talking about putting lights here or a plant there, and actually walk on their property with me, not at someone else's site, not at my office. They wanna be at their house to see what it is. When we do something for a commercial client, it's at that shopping center, so that we can walk around and see it
Right.
in person rather than on paper. They'll have the paper for later, but they wanna be able to walk their site. So I don't see much traffic coming for people doing visits to me.
You don't think there'll be the Joe homeowner that's wants to come in and see if he can buy something, or?
I don't think it's gonna be a high traffic
Well, it's
area.
not a retail use,
Yeah.
first of
No,
all.
I realize that, but you know, the public doesn't know that.
Yeah.
Especially you have
Right.
illuminated signs out there at night, everybody rides by it all the day. Well, let me go and just talk to the guy then, you know what I mean? You know, a lot of people are just curiosity. and-
Sure, right, but
You
they're,
know.
I mean, they're not supposed to advertise it as a retail use, so, or operate. it.
Right, I understand that, but you know,
I don't think, it's more problematic, like you were saying, if it's a large truck, like what happened during our site visit when the guy first was going into Swenson.
Yeah,
You know, if it's just Joe homeowner or somebody or a landscape guy in a pickup in a 350 or something. It's-
I mean, that's the norm for Raleigh now. Everybody's got a
Yeah.
landscaper, and there's a ton of them around.
So if it's a 350, I don't think that curb
Right,
cuts,
but, you know, how,
that's not an issue.
Well, yeah, they can just pull into the driveway, there's no, unless you're not gonna gate it or anything, it's
Yeah,
not
it's-
closed,
it's-
right? or
right,
anything, so-
Like,
Yeah,
unlike-
it's no worse than someone pulling in to get an ice cream. You know?
Well, where the town is growing and Route 1 is growing, I just thought it would be a more of a safety thing than anything. I mean, I think the mall's across the Adams Mall, which is right across the street, they don't have one, which in turn, I think, when they did build it, they should have implemented it back then when they did build it. And for the one down the street with Dunkin' Donuts, have that lane to go in, instead of coming in directly off of Route 1. And you know what I mean? And everybody's gonna.
Or even when a UPS truck goes into the UPS store, you know?
No, none of them have them now.
Yeah.
But you know,
No.
as the town grows, and if you don't start doing this now, what's it gonna be like in 20 years from now, when you get how many more businesses out there?
The only, yeah, unfortunately, I mean, after going on the
I
site,
mean, you gotta start somewhere.
it just drops off, you
Well,
have to.
Well,
I
I
think
just
it
think
depends on how much sight distance you have, the volume of the traffic
Right.
going in there, what kind of vehicles are going in
I
there,
mean, the
so,
biggest concern is coming up over that hill.
right.
That's scary. That's scary. And if you notice the one they did down the street, you're coming up over a hill. That's why they put that lane in there, because you're coming up over that hill.
For that office building.
Yeah,
But it drops off so steeply there.
I realize that.
Mass Highway has criteria for the use. You have to.
Otherwise, they would say no, right?
Yeah, you have to meet a
Well-
certain volume of use,
Yeah.
or an anticipated volume of use on a site, and we don't meet that, we're not even close to that criteria.
Us and them, I mean.
Larry, what do you think?
I don't think for the use and traffic, it's, you know, it'd be nice to have it on every road. every driveway.
Absolutely,
It'd be nice to have it on your driveway and, you know, every driveway, but.
You're
it's
talking
just-
apples and oranges, you're
it's
talking
just
residents,
not
you know, that's a different
warranted.
ballgame.
I just don't think it's warranted in this case.
You know, what if 5 years from now you say, Jesus, well, things are changing, you know, maybe I ought to start catering to the public too. Like down the street there, what's the name of it, Wolf Hollow. Now you wanna sell mulch, you wanna sell flowers, veggies, all that stuff, you know what I mean?
Well,
Because
yeah,
you wanna
yeah,
increase the business, which,
It's not a retail zone, so
Yeah, so it.
that's.
They would have to
Yeah.
come back.
well, there would be no problem to get a change, you're on Route 1.
They'd have to go to town meeting and get the zoning changed.
So
So,
it's a,
I mean,
yeah.
how hard is that?
well, I don't think
Yeah,
that's, I don't think that's gonna happen, so.
Yeah, I think it's pretty hard.
But, I have no expectations of going down that road, but to just go along with your commentary, if I went to that strategy, then at that point it'd be like, okay, now you have increased traffic, now we can say, we wanna put in a lane, you almost have to build a bridge to the side of Route 1 to make an extra lane or something, which would then cause a person to say, okay, that's not a good use of time trying to get that into a retail area. So, I don't
There
see.
certainly would be a retaining wall.
Yeah, I
was gonna
mean,
say,
right,
the wall.
it's a 1 acre
Big wall.
property, there's no extra space.
So what,
Well,
Right.
I mean, Larry, if I could ask you a follow-up question, I mean, how practical would it be to put some kind of meaningful turning lane in there?
Well,
Is it just not
Well,
practical?
no, I think it's been expressed, you've got guardrail, you've got poles on that side of the road, it's
Steep
just
slope.
very limited topographical, you know, room to work with over there. You just don't have it. I think a turning lane would be very close to the guardrail and would probably necessitate moving poles. I don't know, Bill, where those poles are
Yeah,
off
there's,
of the edge, but they're pretty close,
yeah, within 5 feet of the edge of pavement, I believe, so.
so all the poles would have to be moved.
And they meet the site distances, right?
Maybe it's a site distance, I don't think Mass Highway really, the planning board could require that if they wanted to, and I don't think Mass Highway would say, no, you know,
Can't do
you can't, you know, the board can't require that. But if it was warranted, I think Mass Highway would have required it without and not given a permit without requiring it.
Right.
I mean, they mainly look at widths and radiuses. Bill's explained the 30-foot radius and a 20-foot width for a site like this.
which is why they made those recommendations.
Yeah, and I mean, like even on a shopping mall, they don't require it necessarily if you've got the turning radiuses and the widths going in and out. The shopping malls are 24-foot width, I think, radiuses.
Yeah, because they did in
Like
Beverly.
30-foot radius.
It causes congestion in Beverly, they don't do it.
I mean, there's so many instances, I mean, I was just sitting here thinking when you were talking about it, like coming up over the hill southbound at the Mexican restaurant and Yankee Pine, almost the same situation. You've got, you know, you've got the same speed limit.
Right.
You've got the same
Right.
over the hill
Right.
and you've got probably half the site distance work with there.
I couldn't, you know, and that's the thing, I mean, they all should have had it, back in the day, whenever they did this, they should
And
have
that
had
drives
it.
off there too.
Because like I said, 20 years from now, you got how many more, and you know, it just keeps going this way, and,
Yeah.
I mean, how many accidents are you gonna have? I mean, you got them coming out of Dunkin' Donuts, I mean, all the time, people rear end each
Well,
other.
if there's more of a density of businesses, then I think they have to lower the speed limit,
Right.
That's how we come in and
Well,
do something.
which is what
I
they
mean, you
do.
can lower the speed limit down to 5 miles an hour, people ain't paying
No,
attention.
but when it's, as you know, there's a difference between a speed limit of 50 and a speed limit of 40. In terms of, you know, enforceability, there is. And when you come into heavily, even if it's a state highway and you come into a more densely populated area, either with businesses or residences, then you need to lower the speed limit.
Well, if you go down, yeah, well, yeah, they do, that's done everywhere, I mean, a good example is New Hampshire, 16 goes from 50 to 30, all the way up to Concord, you know, you'll see that, but,
And people
You
just
take,
have to,
you take like 114 down there, you know?
Yeah.
You have no turnoff lanes, and you've got
That's the
entrances
craziness.
and exits with probably 200 feet average or.
and that's classified as one of the top 10 most dangerous roads in the country,
Right, right.
along with the rest of Route 1 to Boston.
you know?
Well, remember on, the gentleman who had, tree cutting service and he was gonna park his vehicles and
Correct.
stuff on the, I think it used to be Beech Street.
Oh, right,
Now
yeah.
it's the dog.
Sequoia.
And just looking.
Sequoia.
Across the street.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
that
he
was
had-
Howard, that was.
Yeah, he had
that was-
large trucks and, I mean, he was like right over the hill going southbound.
But he also had crane trucks and large
Yeah,
trucks.
so it wasn't appropriate.
Several times a
and-
day.
Well, and the site distances were much shorter
Yeah.
there.
But also that traffic was
It was on-
many times a day, morning, afternoon.
Right, no,
Yeah.
it was just a
He
frightening
was
situation.
cyclically bringing in these large
Yeah,
crane
that
trucks.
was
No.
dangerous and he,
And a crane truck, you know how heavy those are. Those aren't
Oh,
gonna be
you have to
fast.
tell me about trucks.
Yeah.
but so I don't see that this business is, a danger to the public like that business
No,
would.
well, it's
I don't think the business
And I
is
just-
dangerous to the public at all,
But I just.
by no means. I think what a dangerous, what is a danger to the public is, even if it was once a year, and that truck was taking a right-hand turn to come in, he's gonna have to almost come to a stop before he makes that turn. People are gonna be coming over that hill, and I think there's gonna be a problem. Even once a year. I mean, you know, it's,
Yeah,
All right,
say,
so,
I think more than once or twice a year is, it's gonna be more than that anyways.
all right, I just want to, I mean, obviously that's on the table. Larry's, you've seen this.
Yes.
Well, this is date. Have you seen this?
Current,
It's
latest?
dated the 19th.
Yes.
Okay. Without reading those out loud, Larry, have you and Bill talked about as a board?
No, but there's only 9 items here. If you want to go through them, we can do that
I would like that.
a lot
just for-
quicker than the 40 that Bill was trying to get through.
Yes, please.
I don't even know if he's done, but,
Just because this is so recent, I'd like you to go through those.
well, essentially what you were having Bill do was to go through the previous review, September 16th, item by item. And what I did in this latest is reduce that to 9 items, and we can go through them very quickly.
Please.
We talked a little bit about the up-facing lights. I believe if the board believes that they're in compliance with 8647, which says that external illumination of display lights and architectural features shall be performed with luminaries rated at blah, blah, blah. Lighting shall be specifically targeted at particular architectural or landscape features and shall not project beyond such features. If you guys are satisfied that he's in compliance or will be in compliance with that, then I don't think he needs a variance from that.
So that can be part of the COV.
Mhm.
Okay, I don't really have a
Okay.
problem with that.
The proposed additional streetlight that Bill talked about, the transmittal letter that Bill wrote to the board said if needed, and he expressed that tonight, I'd rather that be turned around the other way and that the plans reflect that the light will be there. And if you'd like a condition in the certificate of vote that says if the board decides it's not needed,
Right,
you
the
know,
default is needed.
yeah, I like it the other way around.
Is that,
I get it.
Okay. The condition of approval by the fire chief, you guys have already talked about what the, should have said Knox box, not lockbox. And a condition approval by the health department, both pretty standard. As long as the board's satisfied with the architectural plans, I don't think you need to be too concerned about it, but I didn't want to leave it out if you guys are happy with those.
I may call David making any adverse comment.
Like you said, they're gonna have complete building plans for the building permit, so everybody's okay with that.
Can I go back to the lighting of
Yeah.
the lighting issue?
Yeah.
The up-facing lighting, is that for, what is that gonna be lighting? Is that a
The
sign?
plans.
Or
Plans.
plants,
Plans.
okay, so,
Yeah.
well, I just wanna point out that, oh, I lost it here. The provision that talks about, that the light must be top pointing downward is talking about a illuminated sign, so, in other words, you can't have them projecting up on a sign, but we're not talking about that, so.
No, it's
No.
8647.
Yeah, right, right, yeah, I know, it's,
Okay.
right, talks about building facades and architectural features.
And it says specifically landscape features.
Yeah,
In the new bylaw.
well, my only point was the prohibition on up-facing lighting is for signs, not.
Okay, yeah, this is strictly for their
Yeah.
architecture.
Right.
So. Number 9, the sign location. Steve just mentioned it. I mean, I'd still like to see the sign subtly, if we could, of that entrance. I've made mention of this a couple of times, and I think that would help prevent perhaps
That's with you, Steve, that would help.
somebody turning into the exit, or,
In other words, have before the entrance?
yeah, southerly of the
Well, I'm
entrance.
concerned about, is it blocking their view if someone's coming out taking a right or left? Can they see beyond the sign out in the street?
Yeah, well, the further south you move it, the better that's gonna be
Right,
too.
Right.
But my thought I think it's fine where it is now with respect to sight distance, but my thought in moving it further south and south of the entrance would alleviate a possibility of somebody passing the entrance and coming in the exit.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
And going back to what you were talking about, if it was a truck, you don't have the radius to turn into the exit where you have the radius to turn into the entrance.
No,
So,
that's a good point.
I
You
think
see
that,
that larger radius.
Yeah.
How about if we move
Made
like
this larger.
I don't,
Yeah, on the entrance.
I know you've kept wanting to put it there, but I don't quite understand why, because your business is to the south. I don't,
That's where I'll have everything planted.
Yeah.
And so if we move it, I mean, we can talk about this and do it as amendment.
No, you better talk about it right now.
Okay.
yeah, 'cause-
What about if we move it, so it's 10 feet or 15, right now it's not in the center, it's closer to the entrance. If we move it,
can you just point it out, Bill, where it
The
is?
sign is right here.
Yeah.
Obviously, this is the entrance and this is the exit.
so if we moved it to be a third from the entrance and 2/3 away from the
Well, the
exit.
further south you move it, the happier I'll be.
Well, but the point is it should be before the entrance, right?
Well,
Logically, it should be before.
That's what my thought has been all along, but for some reason Tony's got a different
We-
slant.
That's where we
Doesn't the
have,
land rise?
Why don't you want it, like, before the entrance?
that's where the road drops off and it'll just, if you're picturing Route 1, it comes down like this and that's,
No,
then you
I
get to
know,
the
I
level.
remember the site visit.
So then we have a water feature there and more stuff on that side. And I think it's just going
Can it be
to,
even further, like towards the corner of the building?
no, you wouldn't be able to see,
No, I think that would be
Me
too
too.
far, yeah.
It's too far in the valley?
yeah.
Yeah, but
Well, too far away from the entrance, so you wouldn't.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, Tony, if you couldn't just,
Put it next to-
elevate your lower post. I know you've got that grading issue there, but if you had the sign up at the same level that you have it now, or at the level that you wanted, and you just have taller posts so that you don't have to bring the grade up in that corner.
Didn't the grade go back up on that end?
No,
But no.
No.
See how he graded for the driveway there? Steve?
see that, those little curved,
See how he graded?
It's the next
See it?
sheet. Want to see the
Because if
grade.
it stays
Yeah, take a look at the one up there, Steve.
on
See
the
how they have to do
northerly
the grading?
side, then it can be landscaped and worked within.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm trying to get to be.
You don't think there would be vis if you put it up on the grade?
We can't be,
Without blocking the entrance?
we can't be.
No, I know that, you don't wanna block the entrance.
But we have to be behind this line, we can't be in front of the, we can't be in the right of way. We have to, the sign has to be on private property. Can't be out into the right of way, so, right now we're showing it right on the whole property line, so we have to be right in here.
That's what I'm saying, right.
How much of a grade difference is that, right? To the-
From the right of way,
Yeah, let's say from the entrance.
It's only 4 feet, right?
yeah, a 4-foot drop from, from the back of the sign to, well, 3-foot drop from the back of the sign to the front of the sign. This is 75, 74, 73.
So that's 4
And what did
feet.
they want for a grade on that entrance?
Steve?
What's that?
What did they, what's?
It's 2% going in for the first 25 feet, then it goes to 4 or 5% coming down, and it flattens out back here.
So you're gonna have to have a good amount of material just to bring it, just to get that 2%, right? So if it goes 4 feet,
Yeah, actually,
it's a 4-foot drop from there to the,
yeah, there's some fill right into it here. Yeah, and we obviously we keep it fill down on slope, back towards the existing grade, to make it flatten out.
I don't mean to go off course again, but aren't you doing a lot of excavating out in the back over there?
In
On
one
that,
spot.
isn't it, on
In
the,
one
the high spot there?
There's a high spot right here,
Yeah.
yeah, where the building is, that's coming down.
Let me ask you this then, if this entranceway, can you make it so this comes over this way more, so it gives a truck, you know what I mean, instead of making a whole lane, just something, that he can get off the road a little bit if he's coming in, you know what I mean, if you bring this back, maybe 75, 80 feet or something? I mean, you gotta,
75, 80 feet's gonna be back in here.
And that
That's
drops
in
off.
that grade where we really can't, and plus the guardrails there, we'd have to move the guardrail.
Yeah, Steve, this is a 1 to 20. Right?
This is 1 in 20, yeah.
Yeah, it's a 1 to 20, so you're used to looking at 1 to 40 or more.
Yeah, so 60 feet back in here. The grading is really difficult, and with the pole here, we really couldn't get, we might get 5 feet.
You're doing as much as you can to flatten it out.
Yeah. I mean, as far as locating the sign goes, I mean, I think it's basically, I can design it as far as getting it on the plan. It's just, where Tony would like it more desirable for his business,
Well, Tony, I mean, here's your time
So- I mean, I think we could put it there, we could put it right next to the entrance on this side, it gives it,
So anything moved up closer to the entrance would.
Anything subtly will be an improvement. I think will be helpful.
So we'll move it, say 10 feet? Closer
No,
to
it
the
looks
entrance.
like closer to 20.
What is the distance now from the?
If you go 2 inches, Bill, it's closer to 20, right?
Well,
no, it'd be 40 feet if it's 2 inches, 1 inch.
That's what I meant, 40, yeah.
So right now, it's 30 feet from the edge of this edge of the
Split the difference, 15?
15, we put it right where this,
Yeah.
right in here.
I don't really, I can see,
It's definitely a
it's
little
too far,
closer.
it's too far beyond the entrance. So you can move it closer to the entrance. That's not gonna affect you that much. is it?
I agree.
Okay.
So we'll move it.
15 feet a reasonable compromise for everybody?
That's closer to the entrance.
I don't think 15 feet is much.
Would you rather see 20?
I'd rather see it over here, the other side.
Yeah, but I can see why I can't, it's either gonna block, if you,
He's not gonna block anything,
No.
but
No.
the problem
I think it
is,
should-
he
I
has
mean,
to,
anything can be done, we all know that.
has to build it up to landscape around
You
it.
know,
I think that's
it-
what he's trying to do, is landscape.
because he already has it up there, and then it's gonna be in the valley, it's
Yeah,
gonna,
plus also,
No, you don't have to go in the valley, if you
All the-
put an anchor right here on the road, and then with a,
it has to be off the right of way.
right,
we're trying to maintain all the trees that it's not a whole lot of trees, but there's trees in this area here, which is actually in the right
The
of way.
screening you're gonna maintain.
trees where, here?
Yep, all along there's a wall here, a little stone wall, we're gonna keep that stone wall.
So you won't even see down there, why would you wanna light it up then?
I think you'll see it when there's less leaves, but, because the building's gonna be higher.
Well, that's a
it's
market,
gonna be out.
will attract some people
Yeah.
sitting at something.
But this sign, if you put it too far this way, we may not see it when we're coming down the hill.
Are those gonna be lit up at nighttime?
This sign?
No, down here, you said you want to put lights down here?
Correct.
Is that gonna be lit up at night?
Yes.
Well, yeah, I mean, especially this time of year.
Yeah.
I know, but there's another concern for safety, you know, people are coming down Route 1, they'll look at the, oh, what's that light in the woods? And now they're not even looking where they're going, they're looking what the light is in the woods.
I don't know if they're even gonna.
I don't know, it's,
No, I don't know.
They'll be too busy on their cell phone.
Yeah, right.
They're not gonna be looking.
Too busy
texting.
sending texts.
Yeah,
You're coming into a business zone, I mean, if we have to put signage, you come, I mean,
yeah.
God, if you look at the
I
distraction.
mean, I don't care, you wanna light up the whole woods, light it up.
No, I'm just
you know?
saying, it's-
My only concern is the entranceway, I mean.
Yeah, and rightly so. All right, I just wanna get through these.
Next
items.
one, 10.7 on the
This
next
one.
page. Bill has explained the changes in the grade. They did a really nice job on the exit, which is the most important one of getting that flattened out. I think they're less than 2%, all the way up and all the way out to the highway. But what they have on the entrance is about 2% for the first 20 or 25 feet, and then, as Bill explained, they have a short section of 4 or 5% grade, which takes them down to where they meet the people coming out. I'd like to see about 40 feet of guardrail directly across from there, because they've got a fairly, nice slope right to the property line. And then there is a section on the southerly side of their exit where they're showing about 15 feet of guardrail along the southerly edge.
Yeah, we don't really need that, yeah.
I don't think we
realize
really
that.
need that, so I have no objection. You take that 15 out,
No, you don't need that.
give us
Yeah.
40, that's a net of 25 more feet of guardrail. I would really like to see that.
No, from a safety perspective, I'd rather see that.
Space it open.
Put it where
Does
you
the
need
guard,
it.
oh, excuse
Yeah,
me.
put it where you need it, not where you.
Right. Does the guardrail need to be continuous, or can we do 10, I'm saying a 10-foot section, I don't know if
Well, the
there,
objective is that somebody coming in the entrance is starting to make that turn, at a 5% grade. They're just coming off the highway, 5% grade, maybe they're going 10 miles an hour, and the road's the drive's a little slick. They're gonna keep going and go right over that stone wall.
my comment / question is, can I put a 10-foot section in and then a plant, and then another 10-foot
Oh, sure.
section,
Yeah.
rather than have
Yeah, as long,
spontaneous?
but don't space it 10 feet.
Right.
No,
10 feet, 5 feet, 10 feet,
Yes.
5 feet, that's fine.
No, aesthetically,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Yeah, it would look like,
Yeah,
give a little more aesthetics to.
sure.
All right, sounds good. So we'll do that,
Oh,
we'll add the 40 feet here, we'll take this out.
The last two are real technical in the sense of drainage calculations. There's a little bit of a difference between the plans and the calculations, which Bill can address, but it's not gonna make any difference to
The total.
the package, the total.
Yeah, I'll definitely take a look at those, and we'll get those corrected and get that over to Larry.
And what I recommended in my last paragraph was that if the board desires this evening, I think you could close the hearing. If you wanted to, they could revise and resubmit final plans based on what the discussion has been tonight. And if you wanted me to, I can prepare a draft certificate of vote for the next meeting.
It looks as though our schedule would be on, we have a hearing on the 4th of December. Potentially then the 18th. That's okay with people, because part of that ties into, the hiring of a new planner on the 18th, if possible. And then, obviously before Christmas. So the question would be, is the 4th with the Thanksgiving holiday too soon?
It might be a little soon, and also I think I heard tonight they're going to the Concom on the 4th,
The 3rd.
the 3rd.
So, if you got your COV on the 18th, I don't know if Larry will have it ready on the 4th.
It might be a little tight with my schedule, what I got to do, give it a shot, but.
It is what it is, you can't build until you get the other stuff done anyways, right? Right?
So then there'd be no
You're
vote
gonna-
tonight?
No, it'll be both, no, that's not saying that's the case.
Oh, the actual
We
certificate.
have, yeah,
Decision.
But
No,
they could,
the decision itself would have to be voted on in the meeting on the 18th.
Right, there won't be a vote tonight.
Just to close the hearing, it won't be a vote on the decision.
We
Because
like
the
to
decision-
have the decision in front of us when we make a vote.
Yeah, the decision hasn't been formulated, the decision's going to be based on these conditions that were finally hashed out.
Right.
Those have been hashed out, and Bill has some slate, which can be done on the as-built and so forth.
Oh, we'll get it taken
Right,
care of.
right.
Before the vote.
Yeah.
Well, I'm saying that the 4th is the Wednesday after Thanksgiving weekend. Well, it's 2 weeks from now. If you can't have it ready, you can. I mean, it's, I have to have the agenda in by Monday, on the 3rd, or by Friday after Thanksgiving. So whether I have it on there or not, just, I could, but it may not be ready. Depending on what and Bill will be in touch with Larry. So, I understand, and but, there's some site issues here. If the use was different, Steve, I'd feel much more strongly in the direction.
Oh, definitely.
I would feel very strongly in terms of grading, but I think Bill, overall, I think, with a very confined site of 1 acre that it's just a house that needs to be torn down, I think a lot of good work has been done by Bill, and, to make this site work for I think, what you have now, till now is a successful business, that you could continue on this site. Certainly better than a decrepit house. So, which is what's there now, which is what, 10 feet off the highway.
Not even.
Not even.
A foot and a half.
So,
Off the right of way, yeah.
That's what I meant, off the-
Yeah.
no, I think with a difficult site, Bill, this has been a problematic site for years and years, so. I'm ready to close the hearing.
Could I just ask Bill
Yes.
to, on your revised plans, just date all your seats December 4th?
Okay.
So I'll entertain a motion, but we have enough, we have 4 people, so.
I'll move to close the public hearing.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? And it is just site plan review, so we need 3, so. No, you can abstain, you can do whatever. All those opposed?
I oppose.
Okay, so there's 1 opposed. Are you taking note, please?
No, but I will. Write down.
I brought this specifically for you, Gene.
Oh, you did? I haven't been taking any notes.
No, we have the DVD for that. Here's your cheat sheet here.
Okay, just write down.
Please just take the motions and
You
the votes.
dropped something.
The final revision.
All right, that's, motion was by Gene, right?
By Cliff.
By Cliff, seconded by Gene. 3 affirmatives and 1 against.
Thank you. We'll be in touch with, I'll get these corrected, get them to Larry, and back to you as well.
It's been a haul.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Larry. Thank you. All right, so you understand what happens after this? You guys, so you got Board of Health, you got Concom. We'll be in touch with them. And so Larry will be in touch with me whether or not you'll be on the 4th agenda. This is our, I think a lot of this can be turned into the certificate of vote, you already. Because basically they're here. Okay. All right, thanks.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thanks. Thank you, board.
Edited it, then I give it back. I'll wait for his final. I think that's all I think. I read the code,
You can make this brief, just simply say, without, we don't need the whole history. What you accomplished today and just, what you're attending. This is an A&R. So just say what you have and what you're intending to do.
What we're
And why.
trying to do
Oh,
is,
pull up the Mylar, see. And you bring it contact sheets? Diane?
Maybe I can imagine.
Okay, the contact sheets, we put those out on top of this, so we know.
This is the check for the thing, Form A, Form Ds.
Oh, you really were running around.
Got a certified abutters list. We own everything
How'd you
except
do
for the
that?
town.
You got it done. She's a miracle.
Well, you didn't need that, though.
Well,
Well-
according to, well, she didn't need the certified, all she needed was a list.
That's okay, we got it certified.
There's the rules and regs, you just look at it.
Form What's the point?
I got copies
You
of,
read- you read my term.
I have copies of the deeds that's showing what it is the original deed is for 18 acres, which is both of these lots combined.
All right, first of all, say who you are.
Oh, Donna Pikel, my husband Eugene Pikel,
Richard Pikel.
from Pikel Farm.
Pikel Farm, and we're off of 1A. Everybody know where we are?
Redgate, this is the Redgate Road, this is
We
the
know.
road going to the dump.
Steve's been here
the
long,
Creek
you know
Knoll
where.
dump.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So this lot, so anyway, the original deed shows both lots 8 and 9 are one lot. When the town went onto our property for the thing, they then went and got an easement with the town and Stanley Pikel to take this 4.9 acre piece, but they never went through the process of really subdividing it. They just put it on the plan, drew the line.
So your, yeah, so
So
your
this is
intention
when-
is, again, to,
to officially do what is on the tax assessor's maps already.
officially, because in the deed,
maps already show it as two,
and even though, but the deed says
but the
one.
deed says one.
Is this
That's the dump
the
lot.
dump?
So you're just dividing that lot in two, essentially.
We're just doing the official paperwork to
Right.
make everything
For
that's
the
already
purpose of-
looking
What
happen.
did we approve just a few months ago, right? I mean.
We just asked us to come back with all of the,
Stuff.
Oh, we did, oh, okay, all right, we did, that's right.
And for the
Right.
purpose of a sale to, because.
right, see, I mean, there was a lot of things. We've sold the building rights off to this portion. The Massachusetts should have never taken half the lot either, but they did because it looked like it on the assessor's map that it was one. So now when we go to
Because it's
do
an
the type.
APR.
Right.
The
Right.
APR, so we did try and take at one point.
For the
until we-
TV audience, agricultural preservation.
Correct.
right, right.
Right.
I remember that, a long time ago.
It was a long time ago. So now when we've gone to try and sell the parcel to Tender Crop, he naturally doesn't want anything to do with the dump
Finance company doesn't.
portion. So
The
we're trying
finance
to,
company.
yeah, so we're trying to eliminate, to actually segregate that piece as is indicated as lot 9 on your assessor's map from lot 8, which is really one whole unit.
And as I was, after talking to Mr. McFadden today, they're both in 61A.
Oh, yeah, I pulled it up and found municipal liens
That's all,
for,
yeah, okay. yeah.
for both,
Right.
yes.
Is 18 acres combined or
All right,
just?
I need to
The
get a-
18 acres
I need
is
to- I need to
combined,
get a Sharpie, so.
And this is town property here?
and that's the town property.
So if the
And-
board has any
and
more questions, ask.
The Pikel's own everything else, we're the only other butters.
To this piece.
Well,
to
so,
that piece.
so this lot would have frontage on, not on Route 1A, but
On Redgate Road, but where the
Yeah.
APR has already been sold on this, there's no building that can be built on that.
Right.
This, we're indicating not to be a buildable lot.
Oh, you
so
are, that
we're-
was my
yeah,
question.
So
Where does it say that?
I don't know.
Well, you wanna rid yourself of this and, right?
Well,
You gotta separate.
you can't rid yourself of it until it's one first separated. We're gonna remain owners of that at this
Oh,
juncture,
the dump, you are?
at this juncture, correct.
Okay.
And then Matt will own everything else.
That's the guy from Tender Crop, right?
Correct.
What's over here?
That's the
Us,
rest of the.
all the rest of the fields that we own.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah,
All
we
right.
we own, we are the only abutters, other than the town, to this whole parcel.
Did he buy across the street, the actual farm? Oh, he
Yeah,
did?
he's-
Well, he hasn't bought it yet, it's
Oh, he
being
wa- he
leased
wants
at
it.
this
Okay,
point,
yeah.
yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Did I just see something in the paper? Did he buy something in New Hampshire too?
Tuttle's Farm up
Tuttle's
in
Farm,
Dover,
yeah.
He's doing a really nice
I
job
saw
up
that in
there
a Lynn
too.
item, because I get the Lynn item.
Yeah, yeah,
I couldn't believe it was in the Lynn paper.
he's very ambitious,
Is he? Good for him.
Yep.
Good for
hard
him.
worker.
Yeah, he must be.
I think he'll do good for the town.
Right.
Well, that'd be great, I'd love to see him here.
Yeah. So anyway, what I did do is provided you with the original lease, the original deed that showed the 18 acres. Then it since was put into a realty trust when they did the APR land, all of the land to try and condense it into less was put into a Stanley Peichel Realty Trust. And then after that, because of logistics of after he died with the signing powers, it got put into a Stanley J. Peichel Trust. But it's still all of these parcels that are in this one, so just so you have a chain of command as to the parcel of property. So I provided you with those. These are the liens on both 9 and 8 that show the municipal lien. This was a copy of the lease that we had and that you guys are holding us harmless to anything on this, just for your information. This was a copy of the original easement that was done back in a long time ago, 77, where this parcel was, this is the easement that was provided to the town, and that's when the actual,
Easement was made or whatever.
right, which kind of made it show that there was that parcel,
Yeah.
so you're welcome to keep that
So we have a pretty good record.
for your reference.
Well, the only question I have is typically when we're approving a Form A that's not on a public road, we require the plan to say not a buildable lot, and this doesn't do that.
Under an APR, it's not buildable.
Well, the APR doesn't,
The APR is not built, this one partial is not
but
buildable.
the other lot
This is not in
is not
APR.
covered by the APR.
No, they are buildable.
Huh?
They're on 61A,
Oh, they're
but they are
61A,
not
okay.
in,
But,
Which
yeah,
is really different.
yeah.
Well, that's owned by the town.
well,
Well-
it's got an easement on the top. It's the
Town
top.
town
Is
can,
it-
town can release its easement.
Is it just
Yeah.
on, that you have to do that on a public road, or is it a way, there's several different,
Well, there are different types of ways.
yeah,
Yeah.
when Redgate qualifies one of those ways, because it's used by,
I think it is, yeah.
Everybody.
Used by the,
Well, it's used
Well, I
by
don't-
people who go down to Newbury. I mean,
It's a rough road, you've gotta really
Yeah.
wanna have a purpose down there, because that road is
yeah.
really barely passable.
I mean, you could write that on there.
just write it out.
What road
You
is
could
that?
write it
Red Gate
on
Road?
if you think
Yeah.
it's necessary.
I haven't been down there since. the
There
Buffalo.
there are all kinds of stipulations on that from the state of Massachusetts when you close the dump, like nothing can be built because it's got that film over the top, you've got,
I
you
don't even
know.
want, I know, don't even go
The
there.
other thing they have on that is.
But it's not like you
note about
can
it.
really come back and build on it, you
Oh,
can,
yeah. No, that ain't gonna
because you
happen.
have the Massachusetts is all
Oh,
over
yeah,
it.
right, that's
That
So when they did the
It doesn't
original,
necessarily comply with zoning.
like, no development, because they bought the
Conformance with
development
zoning.
rights and had.
Yeah,
So is
but
that all
that's-
of the property
Well,
out
no,
of
see,
here?
that was the problem, even the Massachusetts only took up to that line and did not include the dump, which they really should not have done, because it was one parcel, you aren't supposed to take half the parcel, so they should have, we even called the state and said, what is this, and they said, oh, that should have never happened,
But see,
well,
what
that's
happened
great,
was,
but,
when we were in the process of selling it, I called the state on the APR department and asked them if we could leave this whole parcel out. Oh, you can't do that. I said, well, you left this out when you put it in APR, and she said, well,
that should have never
we
happened.
should have never done that back then. It should have been made a separate lot then.
Should
Right.
have just been here.
Larry, you saying the board just write on a
Yeah.
plan?
Yeah, you could write on
Where would you write it, on the
that.
lot
Right on the
itself?
lot itself, not
I'd feel better if we wrote
not
that.
a building
That's
lot.
fine with us.
That's
Not
fine
a
with us.
building lot? Okay.
Yeah.
Huh?
This is an extra copy too, you asked for an extra copy, and I had to leave you with the lady at
Yeah, I
the
just
town
wanna
hall.
keep, and I'll be bringing this check to the
Oh.
treasurer tomorrow.
This is all of you, anything else you wanna keep?
I wanna keep the file, yeah, I do wanna keep the file on this, and we'll create a file for the office.
I just see one thing on
you've
I
done.
was on the open space committee back then when.
Oh, when this
See,
was
I
all
just wanted
going.
to
Yeah.
have a file with all the custody, all the
Okay.
easements, so I have a complete file, which is very nice, thank you. Because I
Okay,
asked her, as part of our regulations, asked for, copies of the easements and the history.
We've been on it since 9:30 this
And
morning.
they actually brought more information than I even requested, so.
okay, so I wrote that in, so I'm willing to make a motion to approve the Form I.
Thank you, please do so.
As amended.
I second.
Second by Steve Casiotis, I'll give a chance for Dean to write it down. Motion made by Cliff Pierce. Seconded by Steve Casiotis. Thank you for your hard work on this.
Well, thank you for your patience. I mean, we're leaving for Florida tomorrow, so we really
Oh, good for
appreciate
you.
that
Good for
you'll
you.
see us tonight and get this.
Oh, wait, all those in favor?
Aye.
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 That's unanimous, thank you.
Well, we think we're leaving tomorrow. We haven't
Yeah.
packed yet,
So,
so.
finish back in.
All right,
Today
maybe
was
up late
back.
tonight.
We were supposed to finish today, but.
Oh, but also, but you're driving.
Yeah.
Oh, see,
Well, we have a camper. We have a fifth wheel camper we're
Oh, see,
taking.
I don't feel sorry, I'm so, I'm not, you don't have to make a plane, so.
No, no plane.
No,
Yeah, if you're an hour late.
Really? Yeah, yeah.
So she doesn't have to sign it, or?
Yeah, she does.
Yeah.
I have her
Well, we
sign.
have a fishing appointment. So the,
Oh, you're a big fisherman?
Yeah,
No, but-
we love it. We don't know anything about it, but we
wanna
love
be.
it.
Oh,
Good
you
deal.
should be, fishing's
Good deal.
great.
Anyway,
We
There's
love
no such
fishing.
thing as a good fisherman.
Stan was the
Because even the best ones
person.
don't catch a lot of
Oh,
fish
my
these
God.
days.
No, it's a certain.
I think he'll be
mindset.
happy looking down from heaven, seeing that his farm is still a farm and that the cows are still there,
Yeah,
and it
that's-
didn't
yeah,
become a
that's-
development.
Yeah, really,
and,
really, that's
You
great.
know, so
That's
we're
great.
all pretty excited about the whole thing.
Do they bring cows back?
There are 120
Yeah,
cows there now.
Well, 120.
Wow.
And then he's hoping to start milking some, the beginning, after he
After-
gets the Tuttle
And there's
Farm
cows on there
process.
now?
Yeah,
you
Oh,
got
look
beavers
yeah,
at
in
they're
that.
there.
down back, yeah.
Good,
Yeah.
good,
They're all
beautiful.
around down there.
He's in the process of trying to fence stuff off so we can let him out.
I'm a
right
city
now.
guy, but nothing I like better than a farm, I'll
Yeah.
tell you.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Next summer, you'll see him in the fields there.
yeah.
Keeps them
That's
farming
great.
and rally.
Yeah, it's nice.
Well,
We're gonna
this is
go,
the
just go
idea.
into your council.
Yes, we will
Um,
deliver that to
You
you.
have, my council can contact me
Yep,
and or the town if they have any questions
Yep.
while you're gone.
we will
And
get
if he
it,
has questions, if he needs anything from us.
we will get it
So he can
taken
get this
care.
recorded, you're gonna bring that to the clerk. We have to write up what do we do? Katrina usually writes up
What?
Does she have to write something up?
No.
This has been,
Listen,
the clerk already stamped this in today, before the meeting.
Yep,
Um,
the only thing that didn't happen was that
Yeah,
Sean
that-
wouldn't
that's
sign
not-
that.
Yeah, but that is, don't worry, he will do it in his
Yeah.
next meeting.
Okay.
That's what
He
he
told
said.
me, okay? The reason it had nothing to do with anything except that it's done after the board understands what they're doing in the past. They don't really have an issue with what the planning board is. In other words, it's more of a bookkeeping function, but it's a whole board function, not just him.
Mhm,
So he will do it in his next meeting.
Yep.
Okay.
perfect.
Typically, we have planners and there's more.
So we're basically done with you people, we just have to get this to the lawyer and then get it registered at the thing. Do
And
we
I
have
gave
to
you
do
those-
any,
You still have those instructions from me?
I do.
Okay, good. Okay.
do I have to do any, do I have to bring any report back to you or anything
No.
that it's completed?
No, there's two here, so you wanna keep one?
No, you said
No,
two,
Form A,
I
okay,
brought
good.
two.
Form A's are very,
So
Form
I'm
A's
gonna
are
give
very
one to
simple,
Sean.
you know.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, Sean's got one.
Oh, he's got
Yeah,
one, okay.
he's got one, although it didn't have the sign in from the town clerk yet, but he said that wouldn't matter, but he says
All
he's
right, I'll
good.
send him an email that we approved it. Okay.
Thank you. We certainly appreciate your
Well, have
help.
fun.
Have a
Be
great,
good.
have a
you.
safe trip.
I hope you
Thank
catch a
you so
big
much.
one.
Thank
Don't
you.
go hitting the bad weather on the way down.
No, I don't.
You're gonna take your time getting
Thank
down
you
there?
so- We are gonna be in Hilton Head on Saturday, so
That's what we're hoping.
that's what we're hoping.
Wish I was in Hilton Head on Saturday.
Fishing for sea bass.
Yeah, sea bass, right? Thank you so much.
Sea trout.
Appreciate
All
it.
right, thank you very much. Thank you, Larry. Oh, you gotta go back. In your packet, Can people, I would just ask people to read the letters from the Fox Meadows Condominium Association. Some more research has to be done. I brought this up to Cliff, maybe, I just wanna, more research has to be done into the past, how the planning board, you know, approved that. There's one lot that's, what, on Route 1?
Oh, that was way before my time, I don't know, it was probably, I guess it was all one lot, and,
Go to your
there
packet.
was probably a Form A. that-
Let's just look at that for a second, just so we
You
can,
mean 531, it's
Um,
531.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and Larry, I'll give you a copy of this.
I don't know
too.
why we have to research that, though.
Where is this?
This is at Fox Meadow?
Well, the building inspector is wrestling with the fire department and the police. It could, it could potentially necessitate changing. Basically, the Board of Selectmen's receipt, they had I didn't see the outcome of the hearing with the selectmen. The representatives met with the selectmen on Monday. This request requires a review of all possible impacts, 911, legal frontage. So, please just read it, email me, give me any feedback so that
Well, I
I
don't
can,
know if we can do that.
we can't, well, or something, no.
Yeah.
I guess, read it before our next meeting, and
Right.
give me feedback at the meeting, that's what I meant to say.
Okay.
That, when at home, that's what I was thinking,
And this is all pertaining to the name change?
yes.
That's all they wanna do is change the name?
And the issue is that one of the lots, if you look on the, you can even look it up on the web, has a current address at 554, 545 Newburyport Turnpike. And that would become 18 Fox Meadows Drive. So that's a fairly large lot that.
Can anybody give me a
Some of it's
landmark
landlocked,
about
right?
where this is?
Yeah, it's on Route 1, heading north past the Samar's Restaurant. It's
Yeah.
the next right after those two restaurants.
Okay.
It's a condominium development in the back there.
I never even noticed it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
drive through there, it's a kind of a nice, it's an
No kidding.
open space residential
I'll go
development.
check it out.
The first we approved in town. No, not the first, second, but,
So it's
in
been
any
a while.
event, most of that is a condo development, maybe about 20, 24 homes. But there is one single-family home that goes off of that road.
Yeah,
And,
in the very
apparently,
beginning it goes
apparently the
off.
people who live in that home object to the name change, whereas everyone in the condominium association would like to change the name to eliminate confusion and deliveries and things of that nature. But, it's all in there, so, read it.
Please read it.
Yes, I will.
Would it
I'm sure it's
involve-
gonna be an ongoing issue, and I will try in the interim to, if I have time to go into the file.
I don't know if you need to do that, Kurt.
Well,
It's up
just-
to you. I mean, but I don't know what that's gonna shed light on.
Just how that one in 545 was approved, that's all.
Well, on that changing of the road or whatever, does that mean they have to change their deeds? I mean, does that mean that the
Well, I
531
have-
people have to change their deed
I don't think so.
to,
Well, I haven't read it yet, but do you wanna change it just for the purpose of delivery purposes? Is
Because
that-
I guess they're saying it's confusing that they have a Newburyport Turnpike address when they're really off the Newburyport Turnpike.
Right.
But read the letter, it's in there.
And the one that is objected is the homeowner.
Apparently. And I don't think he's told us. what
Was
is
the home there before the condominiums were built?
Yes.
Yes, it was.
That's the issue, and how that was
Yes.
approved in respect to the condos. Because does it have frontage on the condos or frontage on Route 1?
Did the
Or
house
It's
sell,
a landlocked parcel, I don't know how
It's
that.
landlocked, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know how that happened.
did the home sell the land to
No,
develop the condominiums?
No.
no, it used to be the granite place.
used to be.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
the ones that
Duran-
moved down
Duran-
to,
Not Swansea, Duran Granite.
right, he was only there a
Yeah.
few years, and he sold out to Swenson, didn't he?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
All right, so I'm just going to, just for the record here, November 12th, because I didn't give you copies of this, from the assessors, I have two major concerns. Chief Barker will attest to the fact that current unit numbers cannot become the street numbers with 911. We know that left side of the streets are even, right side's for odd. I would recommend the left going to be even, the right side is moved odd. and halfway making a number stop as we do for all other streets and developments in town. Again, this is from Sean McFadden, Principal Assessor in town. Not doing this will cause confusion. Now, unit owners also need to be aware that there's a possibility that the unit numbers and street numbers will not be the same. Separately this is more that regards to us in terms of just kind of, if anybody remembers, not me, because before my time. Separately, there is an issue regarding frontage.
For all of our times. Thank you.
There's an issue regarding frontage that must be addressed by the planning board who originally approved this development. So this is where it kind of lands a little bit.
So the,
The home at 531 Newburyport Turnpike does not appear to have any frontage on Newburyport Turnpike. The property's access is via the road into 545 Newburyport Turnpike. Is that going to be addressed? Is the planning board and the condo owners aware of this? By making this a separate road, does it now give the owner of 531 enough frontage to subdivide his 16 acres?
no, it has nothing to do with frontage.
And are we ready for a new development right there? Of course, there are a whole lot of steps to go through prior to any development, but I think all issues should be addressed. Maybe the owner of 531 would be more willing to make the change if he was aware of the impact on his property. And the condo documents and planning board approval was the status of the road discussed, private versus town. It's a private road, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a private road.
By
It's just
making it a
like-
road, is the next step going to be road acceptance?
No,
You can change the road.
it's just changing the name of a private road. There's
Exactly.
nothing, you know, if the guy's got development rights, he has them, it's just not gonna take away from that, but it's not gonna give him development rights that he doesn't have. And he doesn't have frontage, somehow, I don't know how that happened, but he doesn't have frontage. The condominium association has frontage.
Yeah, because the driveway is separate street at 531 Newburyport Turnpike that is on the driveway leading into the Fox Meadows complex.
Right.
And he's the one that does not support this. So I think they have to work it out, and anyways, I will find out what kind of feedback happened on the 18th for the
Sounds like they
selectmen.
want us to work it out.
No,
Well, you know,
I-
I'm not sure whose jurisdiction it is, really, I mean,
no, I just think, again, it's the boards that have to kind of work together.
I might have
kind
to
of-
recuse myself
They gonna
because I
keep
know
this
the
building?
people on 531. So,
That's fine. Well, we haven't done anything, so you don't have to recuse.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
you know.
Anyways, it was on the agenda, I brought it up, and it's a story to still be written.
What is their name, Gina? Is it the same people?
Do you mean,
Yeah, the same people there.
I gave this to you. The application from Grenier Associates to the ZBA for non-conforming special permit for dog daycare facility, which is tomorrow.
No.
No?
what is that, they're asking for our comments?
Yeah. Does anybody have, do we know, well, Larry, I'll say, is there anything that I can write up in an email to the ZBA? The public hearing is gonna be held tomorrow, an application by Alan Grenier of Grenier Associates on behalf of Mark and April Bernhardt in Topsfield. The request is from the Board of Appeals, a special permit to change a conforming retail sales use. Again, this is across from the bank, the Institution for Savings.
Where they're selling the,
Used to a non-conforming dog daycare facility.
How do you change a conforming use to a non-conforming use?
is it the,
Let me just, from the requirements of section 5246 of the Raleigh Protective Zoning Bylaws, which of course we have right in front of Cliff. Property is located at 317, 321 Haverhill Street. Property is in the retail district and shown in Assessor's Map 16.
And it's a conforming use.
Um,
isn't it the secondhand bookstore?
Yeah.
All right, so, go ahead. Any
Well, my
comments?
comment would be, I don't think you can change a
You're writing this
conforming
down for
use
me?
to a non-conforming use, if that's what you just
Is
said.
requesting for a special permit to change a conforming retail use
Yeah,
to a non-conforming dog daycare facility.
you can change
From the
it,
requirements of section 5214, can you look that?
is that where the bookstore is and the other thing there?
Yeah.
And, what are they selling, antiques or something in there?
I don't know, but you talk about a bad sight distance.
yeah, right, yeah, you're gonna go crazy when you see this.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
Well, a few dogs run out the street.
Yeah,
Whoops.
yeah.
I mean, there's one right around the corner, Route 1.
The dog place.
The subject lot contains a non-conforming residential, which is non-conforming due to the fact that residential is not allowed in retail.
Oh, so maybe that's what they're gonna change.
The lot with the non-conforming use, the residential use, contains two buildings. One building is now and shall be used for residential, and the second building shall be changed to a non-conforming dog care facility.
You can change a non-conforming use to a different non-conforming use. You can't
We all
change,
know that.
you can't change a conforming use to a non-conforming use. But they say they have a different non-conforming use on the part. You know, I think we should let the Board of Appeals decide the application.
I think so too.
The subject property is in the retail district and dog care facilities are not allowed in said district. The applicant states that the change in use to a commercial dog care facility would not, and then we go through the criteria, not be more detrimental to the neighborhood under provisions of 5.1.
Well, if they're not allowed in the district, why would they even apply?
That's a good question. The dogs would be enclosed in a building in an area contiguous with a fence and a shrubbery buffer.
I don't think you got the room down there. You know, if it's not.
There will be no dog grooming or veterinary and all dog waste. I mean, I have an issue, I think it should just be noted also that the site is right next to Bachelor Brook.
That's where the dog waste could go.
Yeah, I mean, Bachelor Brook
Really?
is right there, and that is as we know, is a tributary to an outstanding resource water, which is called the Mill River.
Also runs right by your well.
And the Mill River is an outstanding resource water by the virtue of the fact it runs into the estuary where our shellfish comes from. So that's why the upstream areas are looked at in a way to be protected. Along with the fact that, you know, you go the other way, then you go to the Ipswich water supply.
Right.
And it splits.
Right.
I'm freezing.
Okay.
Okay, so that's on there. There's no correspondence. Update on the town planner search is simply the fact that we're going to be narrowing down the list of applicants on Friday and Tuesday for the purposes of presenting the finalists in a public meeting, which again tentatively I hope will be before Christmas, for the purpose of holding public interviews for the entire board to vote on prospective planner. So,
It looks like we have some good applicants,
yeah, any comments from Gene and Cliff are also on the screening committee? Appreciate
Well,
it.
that would be my comment.
Yeah.
It looks like we have some
Yeah,
good
I
applicants.
mean, and it was great that we had a lot of people who applied with many talents, extraordinary talents, and so it was difficult, but we did manage to settle on a few and meet them.
And so then we will actually be having actually interviews with the the applicants, well, from the ones that were invited back. So that's exciting. You have any questions on the process?
No, I have no questions.
All right, so we have
Process.
preliminary screening,
Right.
then we have interviews,
Right.
so it's all public, then we have a public interviews in our meeting, where the whole board would
Right.
then go through and decide based on the criteria that we have and also on the, our discussion and the interview, so. But that final process is public, in a public hearing, so. Minutes, I'm gonna go up to this. For the December 4th, there's two things here. Well, this is a draft. Can you please read the draft that Cliff thankfully put together?
Did I put together?
Well, you just simply did it that we had a draft of a letter to the selectmen
Oh, that, okay.
following up, again, the whole process by which the mitigation took place for the abutters basket. So in terms of trying to take this whole process and file and put closure to it, I hate that word,
Yeah.
but to bring it to a close, this was a request from the selectmen, so this is a draft. If anybody has any comments on that, I would like to vote on this on the 4th, so that I can, this is the first time that Gene or.
Yeah, and I think,
And I've sent this by email.
Chris being the other attorney on the board, I think it would be a
And I've
good idea
seconded
to
it.
visit with him.
So,
Yeah.
he has this, please read it. It will be on the agenda for a vote on the 4th. I will then type it up. Accompanying that is Larry's summary based on, Larry, do you have anything to say on your summary?
No, I got
The summary is in your packet, I did print it out for people.
I see Cliff is
Yeah, Cliff, so Larry nicely, and so the packet would be Larry's opinion on his observations
Like an original.
as he requested. I just printed it out.
Yeah.
And so that's Larry's, base, and again, this ties back to our vote, which we took, to Larry, make his comments based on his observations, but also, I think you were going to add, there's one more addendum to this would be the Ipswich section.
Oh, okay, right, yeah.
So you'll have that, we'll put that small package together, and I can compile that on the 4th, we'll vote on it now.
Right.
On the selectmen. Is that all right? So just read this, and attached to this is the minutes where we took this vote to do it this way. If you need any more information, contact me. There is obviously an extensive file in the office. But I think Cliff, I think you narrow it down. So, that's why it's in your packet. Please read it for the 4th. Is that all right?
Right.
And we'll vote on it then.
Yep.
So, minutes?
Can we review the minutes next time, because,
That's fine.
we haven't had a chance to look at it.
It's good too, because
I did.
they might be a little rougher around the edges too,
Yeah,
Yeah, right,
because they're being done from the DVD.
right.
yeah,
And so if that's okay,
yeah.
then we can do both minutes next
Right.
time.
Sure.
Okay.
And you're gonna give me the DVD right after this meeting?
Yep.
Will you produce that? And Amy will do
So,
both.
so you watched
2
it
weeks.
and did the minutes, is that what you're saying?
Amy did,
Oh, okay.
and I wanna thank Amy Lyon for doing
Yeah,
it.
Yes.
oh, I'm glad you didn't have to do that.
That, and I sent, all right, the meeting schedule, just, we already did, which was nice. Bills payable and expenses were done by the screening committee when we met. So tentatively, we're gonna meet on the 4th.
Yeah.
And everybody get back. And you can meet on the 4th.
Pardon
You
me?
said you can meet on the 4th, right?
Yes.
Because most people get back by email. Jean, you got back? You can meet on the 4th?
Yeah.
And just so I can tell Debbie, for the finalists, the 18th, or do you want to do after Christmas? I think the 18th we should try.
Yeah, I would,
Yeah.
Okay?
Right, why prolong it?
it's fine with me,
I think
I'll be around.
it's important for people to,
important for you.
yeah.
We'd like to
Is that all right, the 18th?
Absolutely,
We'd
yeah.
like to
That's
keep
our-
it sane.
Yeah.
That's our tentative meeting. Oh, that's not gonna happen. All right.
Too late for that.
It's 9 o'clock.
I'll move
Larry,
to
yeah,
adjourn.
wait,
No, nothing else.
okay. You'll be all set. We're gonna be in touch with Charlie. I gotta call him, Charlie.
I talked to him,
Okay.
yeah.
Do you have anything you want to say on that?
Well, I mean, I don't see any reason that they should come back before the board for anything,
Other than what they have before?
yeah, other than.
So we'll discuss this in the hearing,
Yeah.
but
The
it
bank
shouldn't,
people?
it shouldn't, okay, so,
If they're gonna change the footprint or the site plan, then they definitely need to come back. And that might happen later, as I understand.
okay, but we shouldn't be. Okay, so, this is for the bank.
Can we have heating here for the next meeting? Jesus Christ. Eskimo.
The town,
I know.
the town is on a budget, all right? Okay. All right, take a motion.
Motion to adjourn.
Pretty good.
Second.
Thanks for getting that, thanks. Thanks for, having a lot of fun on that.
Okay,
Good job.
adjourn.